part two of Andrew Flint Inter Milan. Andrew, sorry about that. Where were you talking? Where were you going?
Yeah, no, I was just saying about the ratings cap. That's been the most challenging aspect, but that's the whole point. We all signed up for this game world because we wanted a different challenge, right? And you mentioned about the rule changes, what I think about them. Personally, I'm happy to keep them the same because that's the whole point of the game world. I don't want to relax them too much. If anything, okay, possibly make Division 5 slightly higher, but I don't really see what that is going to achieve, really. Because because you raise it to 85, what difference is it? Unless you raise it to 86, 87, it's not going to change the whole feel of the Division 5. And I'm talking from my perspective anyway. Squad cap of 30, I think, is a good thing because, again, it is a real challenge. And it does mean I get to clear out without... You always agonise over which players you should keep, which you shouldn't. And this sorts that out for you. You just got to be brutal. And I like that. So, to be honest, in summary, I wouldn't change much, really.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. The idea is obviously I wanted a game world where everyone had a fighting chance, everyone had difficulties and challenges, because I think some game worlds are just the same teams and monopolising and dominating. And then the last thing I want a game world that's going to have longevity, that's not going to go stale. And they're the tricky challenges you have when you put a game world together. I'm not saying I've achieved it, but they're the challenges that are faced, and you have to think about these things. And we have a lot of experienced people from different game worlds come in, and they have their own experiences to bring to the table. And of course, one or two have their own criticisms or what have you. But we live and learn. So, but hopefully, I think the game world will prosper.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I'm not really a very experienced, huge new game world player. I do admit I have one game world with Dynamo Moscow where I have completely hoarded every single youth player I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
And with that one, I'm using it in a completely different way because I'm not paying any attention to the tactics or how far I get in the league. I'm purely doing it for ratings changes, and that serves its own purpose. So this one's different, and I like that. So I'm loving it so far.
Good stuff. Well, let's try and get you back on later in the season. You've mentioned the playoffs. What about the cups? Would that be an importance for you? You know the incentive if you win a cup.
Yeah, I think for me that's probably going to be, well, I'm not going to say more of an incentive than the league, but I actually think if I pay more attention to that, I'm more likely to get some benefit in the short term. Realistically, like I say, I'm not expecting to get near promotion for season 1. I'm looking forward to weaker sides from Division 4 coming down, and then hopefully evening out Division 5, and after a season or two, maybe 3 or whatever, then I'll have a shot at promotion. So cups to start with is good.
Yeah, and the cups do provide, and I know 1 or 2 teams that are going to be quite low down in Division 5 that are going to actually prioritise the cups, because at the end of the day, it's an avenue to buying a top class player. Yeah,
no, absolutely, and it is a genuinely major incentive. Yeah. I mean, I can't really affect my first 11 for probably 2 seasons at this rate. So it's got to be other ways to get around it, and this is a good one.
And because of that, and we all have our own constraints, maybe a lot more attention will be paid to tactics in this game world.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good point because, like I say, I'm not as experienced as some other managers in the game world. Like I only have only 4 other game worlds, I think it is. Yeah. And I'd be honest, before I've not paid enough attention to tactics, but this one I'm going to pay, like I mentioned earlier, my Eder substitution. I was very proud of that, so going to hopefully keep that going.
Andrew, it's been good to talk to you, and you're the first manager in history to have 2 volumes, 2 parts to your interview. That's how important you are.
I feel honoured to be a standard bearer.
Yeah, and listen, you are a real life football journalist, so if we can get any stuff on the blog, that would be awesome.
We'll see what we can do.
All right, good to talk to you, Andrew. Take care.
Cheers, Rob. See you, buddy.
Bye.